I was scrolling through an entertainment website one night, caught in a rabbit hole of memes and debates in the comments section of a viral video. In the midst of the chaos, one comment stood out, a well-articulated breakdown of capitalism, socialism, and communism. It wasn't angry or preachy, just sharp and insightful. Intrigued, I replied, and after some back and forth, the person agreed to chat with me privately. They insisted on remaining anonymous, saying, "It's not about me, it's about the ideas." Here's how the conversation unfolded. "So, what's your take on capitalism, socialism, and communism?" I asked to kick things off. They chuckled almost knowingly. "Well, each system has its virtues, its flaws, and its shadows. Take capitalism, for example. It's brilliant at fostering innovation. Competition pushes people to invent, create, and dream big. But here's the flip side. It rewards exploitation. The elites, those with generational wealth or insider advantages, game the system to hoard resources. That's why billionaires exist in a world where millions starve. Capitalism promises opportunity, but often delivers inequality." They paused, letting that sink in before moving to the next point. Now, socialism. On paper, it's about redistributing wealth to make life equitable. Healthcare, education, basic needs, guaranteed for all. Sounds great, right? But the execution is where it falters. Bureaucracy and corruption creep in. The state becomes the new elite, hoarding resources in the name of the people. If you think billionaires are bad, wait until you see what a corrupt government can do when it controls everything. I nodded along, curious about their take on communism. "Communism," they said, leaning in, "aims even higher. True equality, no classes, no elites, no competition. Just people sharing resources. But here's the catch. To enforce that kind of equality, you need absolute control. And absolute control breeds authoritarian regimes. Under communism, the elites aren't CEOs or billionaires. They're party leaders and bureaucrats. Different title, same game. In all three systems, power inevitably concentrates at the top, while the rest of us fight over scraps." "So, you're saying the problem isn't the system? It's the elites?" I asked. "Exactly," they said with a hint of exasperation. "The systems are just tools. In capitalism, the elites control through wealth. In socialism, they control through bureaucracy. In communism, they control through ideology. The common denominator is that the elites always find a way to stay in charge." They leaned into their theory, and their tone grew more intense. "Think about how hard it is to get ahead no matter the system you're in. That's by design. The elites don't want us rising up. They need us stuck in our lanes. That's why mass media exists. It's not just entertainment, it's their mouthpiece. They distract us, divide us, and keep us docile." "How do we fight back?" I asked, genuinely intrigued. Their answer was blunt and unsettling. "Step one is recognizing the game. The elites don't own their wealth. It's the system that lets them hold on to it. When you die, your money doesn't go to your kids. It goes back into the system through estate taxes and inheritance laws. Think about it. The government owns the money. It just lets you use it. So, what if we flip the script?" "Flipped the script. How?" I pressed. "Redefine ownership. If someone accumulates massive wealth, that wealth doesn't just sit there. It gets reinvested into the community, not through taxes that the government wastes, but directly. And when the wealthy die, their fortunes go back to the people. The elites would call this socialism or communism, slap scary labels on it, and make sure people rejected it outright. They elaborated on how the media would react. Imagine a news anchor saying, 'Radical redistribution threatens your freedom.' They'd frame it as theft, even though it's just reclaiming what the elites never truly owned. They'd use scare tactics, propaganda, even legislation to bury the idea before it gained traction. That sounds dystopian, I said, half joking. It already is, they shot back. We just don't notice because we've been conditioned to accept it. The key is unity. If we see through the distractions and come together, we can change the system, not for capitalism, socialism, or communism, but for fairness. It's not about ideology, it's about survival. As our conversation wrapped up, I felt a mix of enlightenment and unease. Their perspective was radical but grounded, provocative yet strangely logical. Before signing off, they left me with one last thought. Remember, the elites aren't scared of socialism or communism or capitalism. They're scared of us realizing that we're the real power, and once we do, game over.